Welcome to Tomorrow Unveiled. All right, let's cut right to it. Is technology really reshaping our world at, well, just an incredible speed? Not just some sci-fi future, but like right now.
It certainly feels that way.
We've taken a really comprehensive look into the sources our research team gathered, all the articles, research, reports from governments, major institutions, you name it. We're trying to pull back the curtain on how tech, especially AI, is fundamentally transforming society.
It really is.
From our jobs, our education, to, the very economic models we live by. Everything seems to be in flux. So what did we uncover that you absolutely need to know?
Indeed, and what's really striking from the material our dedicated research team compiled is that, well, we're past the point of just talking about it, theoretically.
Right.
The last several months alone have marked kind of a pivotal moment. We're seeing concrete, observable changes converging that really highlight a fundamental shift.
Okay.
So our goal here on Tomorrow Unveiled is to extract those core themes and, crucially, the findings that are corroborated across these diverse sources.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Exactly. We want to give you a clear, concise picture of what's happening, what seems consistent across the board, and, what it all means for you.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with where I think many of us feel AI's impact most acutely, the workforce.
Makes sense.
For years, we heard about augmentation, right? AI as this sort of co-pilot helping us do our jobs better. But when we look across the research now, is that still the main story? Or are we seeing something maybe more dramatic unfolding?
Well, what our research team found, and this is a pretty overwhelming consensus, is that AI is now causing direct job displacement.
Direct displacement.
Particularly for entry-level white-collar roles. Forget the slow creep of automation we used to talk about. This seems to be happening much faster, like right now.
So we're talking about those traditional first rungs on the career ladder, like administrative assistants, bookkeepers, maybe customer service roles.
Precisely. Those roles are actively being removed in some sectors. One study we looked at specifically noted a startling 13% relative decline in employment for young professionals, think 22 to 25-year-olds in occupations highly exposed to AI. And that's since the widespread adoption of generative AI.
Wow, 13%. That's significant.
Yeah.
And it's not just about wages going down, it's actual jobs disappearing.
It seems to be actual headcount reduction in many cases. We're seeing real-world examples cited, a bank cutting, I think it was 45 call center jobs because of an AI chatbot.
45, just like that.
And a major tech company reducing its customer support staff by, get this, 4,000 using AI agents.
4,000.
These aren't projections for 5 years down the line. These are happening now, present-day realities.
What's fascinating here is why this is happening so fast. Is it just the AI getting better, or is there something else driving it?
It's a mix of things. Part of it is the rise of what's being called agentic AI.
Agentic AI. Explain that a bit.
Think of it as AI that doesn't just, answer your question or write some text. It can perceive a situation, decide on a course of action, execute complex multi-step tasks, and then report back. All autonomously.
So it can basically run things itself.
Pretty much. Imagine an AI effectively managing an entire customer support queue or handling supply chain logistics with minimal human oversight. This capability is enabling what some organizations are even calling zero FTE departments.
Zero FTE. So zero full-time employees.
Exactly. Entire functions performed exclusively by AI.
Okay, that's quite a shift. But you said it's not just that.
Right. It's also being accelerated by something else. Shadow AI.
Shadow AI sounds ominous.
Huh. Maybe a little. It's basically when employees, often trying to be more efficient or just explore the tech, start using powerful consumer AI tools on their own. Think ChatGPT, Midjourney, that kind of thing.
Ah, so they bring it into work themselves.
Yes, often because their companies lack formal AI policies or haven't provided sanctioned tools. Our sources report a staggering, 78% of workforce development organizations are in this situation, no clear policy.
78%, that's huge.
It is. And this bottom-up adoption naturally targets the most easily automatable tasks first. So employees are inadvertently speeding up displacement in some ways. Plus, it creates, significant security and data governance headaches for companies that might not even know it's happening.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so you might be thinking, okay, a lot of jobs are changing, some are disappearing, but is there any good news here? What about the upside? Because surely the sources also point to some gains.
Oh, absolutely. The picture is definitely complex, but it absolutely has a bright side too.
Okay, good.
For industries most exposed to AI, our research team highlighted really remarkable productivity growth. Some reports showed something like a 27 to 29% revenue increase per employee.
27 to 29% per employee. That's not trivial.
Not at all. It's not just about doing more with less. It seems to be about doing much more, potentially with more intelligent tools assisting the remaining workforce.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, right? What about individuals, if you have the right skills?
That's the crucial part. For those with the right AI skills, the payoff looks immense. The research consistently across different studies shows a massive, wait for it, a 56% wage premium for AI-skilled workers.
56%. Wow. That's not just a bonus. That's a completely different earnings trajectory.
Exactly. It's like a flashing neon sign pointing directly to where the economic opportunities are just exploding right now.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture then, this creates a massive critical need for reskilling, right? Lifelong learning.
Absolutely critical. There's near universal consensus on this among policymakers, researchers, everyone we looked at. Adaptation requires new skills, period.
But here's the kicker, and this is where the disconnect seems really stark in the sources. While something like 76% of hiring managers admit they could reskill their current employees.
They often just don't.
Right. And despite this urgent, flashing neon sign need, fewer than 4% of workers actually get any upskilling in their first couple of years of employment.
It's a huge gap.
So looking at the sources, what do you think is really holding companies back? Why aren't they investing more in their existing people, even when this skills gap is so blindingly obvious?
That 76% figure is really telling, isn't it? It suggests maybe a systemic issue. Perhaps a short-term focus on immediate cost savings from automation rather than that longer-term investment in human capital. Or maybe it's just the difficulty and cost of doing it at scale.
It raises a really important question for you, the listener, doesn't it? How do we bridge this gap, this chasm between the urgent demand for new skills and the actual provision of training, both from employers and maybe what we need to do individually?
It's a central challenge.
So we've seen how AI is shaking up current jobs, creating this huge demand for new skills. But if this is the reality now, what about the pipeline? The next generation? How are we equipping our future workforce?
Right, which leads us straight to education.
Exactly. Our education systems. Are they actually keeping pace? Are they preparing students for this, well, this AI era we're clearly entering?
Well, across all the sources our research team looked at, there's this overwhelming emphasis on the critical importance of AI literacy. And not just for tech professionals, but for everyone.
AI literacy.
Yeah.
So not necessarily coding, but understanding it.
Precisely. It's about understanding how AI makes decisions, recognizing its potential biases because they exist, knowing its limitations, and being able to critically evaluate the information it spits out.
So you can use it effectively, but also be aware of the pitfalls.
Exactly. It's about empowering you, the user, to navigate a world where AI influences so much so you can make informed choices, not just be sort of passively accepting its outputs.
And are we seeing this happen? Is this push for AI literacy gaining traction?
We are seeing global movements. China, for instance, has a mandatory AI curriculum now for primary and secondary students. The U.S. has things like a presidential AI challenge for K-12. Even Greece, partnering with a major AI company to integrate tools like ChatGPT Edu into secondary schools. It really does feel like a global race to get young people ready.
Okay, so there's movement, but is it enough? Is it consistent?
Well, despite that urgency, many regions, particularly noted in the U.S. context, seem to face a significant governance gap. State education departments are often lagging behind in providing clear AI-specific guidance.
So what does that mean on the ground for, like, a teacher?
Imagine being a teacher today. You have these incredibly powerful tools like ChatGPT available. Students are using them, but you might have no clear school policy or district policy on academic integrity, data privacy, or even just how to ethically grade work that might be AI-assisted.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly difficult. Leaves them kind of flying blind.
Exactly. It leaves local districts and individual educators to sort of feel their own way in the dark, which, can lead to confusion, inconsistency, maybe even missed opportunities to use the tech well.
But sometimes that lack of top-down direction can spark innovation from the ground up, right?
Absolutely. And we see examples of that. Baltimore City Public Schools, for instance, developed this flexible 5-level acceptable use scale. It helps teachers manage AI use in their classrooms.
That sounds practical.
And crucially, their guidance advises against relying on those often unreliable AI detection software tools.
Oh, interesting. Why?
because they often don't work well. Instead, they're promoting critical thinking, teacher judgment, looking at the process, not just the output. Internationally, you have bodies like UNESCO advocating for a very human-centered approach,
Human-centered, meaning?
meaning AI should be an enabler, a tool for teachers and students, not a replacement. And that teachers absolutely need professional development to lead this integration thoughtfully. These are great examples of communities stepping up when maybe the top-down guidance is a bit slow.
So what does this all mean then for the future of learning itself, if AI can do more routine tasks?
The research consistently points back to the enduring value of uniquely human skills.
Like what?
Creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving, communication, empathy, collaboration. These are the skills AI, at least for now, really can't replicate well. They become our competitive advantage.
So it's a call to action, really, for educators to double down on those fundamental abilities.
Exactly. And maybe for things like apprenticeships, too, providing that hands-on experiential learning, bring young people a practical toolbox to thrive in an economy that's going to be increasingly AI augmented. It's about building adaptable, thoughtful humans, not just people who can perform specific automatable tasks.
Adaptable humans.
Yeah.
I like that. It really underscores that while AI handles the routine, our unique human capacities, innovation, deep connection, complex judgment become even more vital.
Precisely. More vital than ever.
Okay, this is fascinating stuff. And if you're finding this insightful, please do take a moment to like this video if you're on YouTube, subscribe to Tomorrow Unveiled, and maybe hit that new hype button, apparently, that helps us reach more viewers.
Every bit helps.
And turn on notifications so you don't miss updates. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your audio, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could leave us a rating and review for Tomorrow Unveiled. It genuinely helps new listeners discover the show.
It really does.
So we've talked jobs, we've talked education. But tech's impact, it ripples out wider, doesn't it? Across the entire economic and social fabric.
Absolutely. Governments, international bodies, they're all trying to get a handle on this, but the challenges are huge.
Yeah, our sources Project AI could add, what, trillions to the global economy, potentially ushering in this era of incredible technological abundance.
That's the promise. Solving previously intractable problems, drastically lowering production costs. A world of, well, unprecedented plenty in some ways.
Sounds amazing. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? While that vision is compelling, our sources also screen warnings about widening inequality.
That's the major risk highlighted consistently.
Are we seeing any immediate risks beyond just the inequality gap itself that could emerge from this relentless push for technological efficiency?
That's an excellent question, and yes, the research team flagged several concerns beyond just the wealth gap, though that's central. The immediate risk of widening inequality is paramount because access to the most advanced AI isn't evenly distributed.
Right, it's skewed towards those who already have resources, connectivity.
Exactly, threatening a new kind of AI divide. Some research points to a stark generational divide already, with early career workers potentially losing ground relative to more established ones. There are also potential geographic disparities favoring major urban hubs, potentially leaving non-metropolitan areas further behind.
And beyond the divide.
Well, just the sheer speed of this change could seriously outpace our social safety nets. If large populations feel left behind or their economic security evaporates quickly, that could lead to significant social unrest. It's a civility concern, too.
Which logically leads to the next big question. If AI might, down the line, broadly substitute for a lot of human labor, how do we ensure economic stability for everyone, not just the AI-skilled elite?
And that's where ideas like universal basic income, UBI, are re-entering the conversation. Seriously.
Yeah, UBI used to feel like a pretty fringe idea, didn't it?
It did. But now it's emerging as a more pragmatic policy discussion in some circles. The rationale is shifting. It's not just about poverty alleviation anymore. It's increasingly about macroeconomic stability.
How so?
Well, ensuring people still have purchasing power, even if traditional full-time work becomes less common for large segments of the population, keeping the economy moving. One former AI researcher cited in the materials even suggested a $10,000 monthly UBI might be feasible eventually, fueled by AI-driven growth.
$10,000 a month? Wow, that's ambitious. Are there related ideas?
Yes, things like a digital dividend. The idea there is that citizens get some kind of financial return from the collective productivity gains that AI unlocks. Sharing the bounty, essentially, ensuring everyone benefits from this new technological wealth, not just corporations or shareholders.
Sharing the bounty. It makes sense if the gains are truly societal. Now, alongside these big economic ideas, what about regulation? Governments must be scrambling.
They are, globally. The EU has published its Comprehensive AI Act, a real landmark piece of legislation.
The first big frameworks, right?
Exactly. The UN, other international bodies, they're all working on frameworks for cooperation on AI governance, ethics. It's a major focus.
But the challenge for governments here must be immense. I mean, how do you regulate something that's evolving almost daily? What are the biggest hurdles to creating regulation that's actually effective and, future-proof?
That's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? The biggest hurdle, highlighted across our sources, is making regulation adaptive, flexible enough to keep pace.
Adaptive. So not just static rules.
Right. Instead of just banning specific tools which might be obsolete next month, it means establishing broader principles, things like ethical by design, AI development, ensuring robust data privacy, mandating transparency in how AI makes critical decisions, building in mechanisms for rapid policy adjustments as the tech shifts.
So less like a fixed rule book, more like a living constitution for AI.
That's a great way to put it. A leading constitution for AI, one that can evolve as quickly as the technology itself, while still safeguarding society from the potential downsides of mass surveillance, algorithmic bias, job displacement without support. It requires a level of agility from governments that, frankly, hasn't always been their strong suit.
No kidding. So if we tie all these threads together, the workforce disruption, the education challenges, the policy responses, what's the big picture conclusion?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what seems to be emerging is a kind of trilemma.
A trilemma. Like a dilemma, but with three parts.
Exactly. A situation where we're trying to perfectly balance three goals that might be inherently conflicting. Think of it like this. It seems we can't simultaneously optimize for 1. Super fast, profit-driven corporate AI deployment, 2. A relatively slow-to-adapt educational system, and 3. A stable, equitable labor market.
You can't have all three perfectly balanced at the same time.
It appears incredibly difficult. And right now, our sources suggest that corporate speed getting AI out there fast is often prioritized. Maybe implicitly, maybe explicitly, but often at the expense of the other two crucial pillars. Education catching up and ensuring the labor market transition is fair and stable.
So this isn't just about managing technology, is it?
Not at all. It's fundamentally about reshaping our social contract. It's about making conscious choices to ensure that the undeniable benefits of this technological abundance are broadly shared, preventing a future where we have incredible plenty alongside deep poverty or instability. It's a fundamental test of our societal values, really.
Wow. What a journey through the present and the near future of tech's impact. It's clear, isn't it? AI isn't just another tool. It's a catalyst, profoundly reshaping work, learning, society itself.
Absolutely.
The data our research team compiled is stark. Immense opportunities for human ingenuity, but also really significant challenges for social equity. They lie right ahead of us.
Side by side.
Yeah. So the path to being, quote, future-proofed, it clearly involves prioritizing those uniquely human skills we talked about, investing seriously in continuous learning for everyone, and creating thoughtful, adaptive policies that ensure equitable access to the benefits of all this tech abundance.
That seems to be the consensus.
It's a complex time, definitely.
Right.
But also, you have to admit, an incredibly exciting time to be alive. The choices we make, like right now, today, they really will define the tomorrow unveiled.
Ultimately, yes. And the sources we've explored, they all remind us that technology is fundamentally a reflection of human choices. It's not deterministic. The question isn't if technology will change everything. It probably will. The question is how we, collectively as a society, choose to guide its evolution.
A powerful thought to end on. So as you, our listener, navigate this rapidly changing world, maybe consider this. What single skill, uniquely human, will you prioritize developing to thrive in this AI-powered future? And maybe, what role do you think individuals like us play in advocating for a more equitable technological transition?
Important questions for all of us.
We'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts on this. Whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about how tech is shaping society right now. Thanks for joining us on Tomorrow Unveiled.